100%. Well, and speaking of Washington, I do want to move on to our next topic. We're going to be talking about the government shutdown or the possible government shutdown. There's the September 30th deadline, but I want to focus on the high stakes meeting between Donald Trump and Democrat leadership, specifically Leader Schumer, Minority Leader Schumer in the Senate. Carolina, you've covered a lot of these sit downs between Donald Trump and heads of states. Sometimes, like he's brought in allies like from Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, or individuals from the United Kingdom. But he's also brought folks that are from, por decirlo, opposition party, which is Democrats right now. And in the past, in the 2016 to 2020, these meetings seemed to be kind of uncomfortable. In the past, they were somewhat like diplomatic. It was almost like just a photo op, and then they would close the doors and have those debates. Not with Trump. It seems like he likes to have these debates and kind of like poke the bear in front of the cameras. Look, a government shutdown is no algo fácil. It shuts down a lot of resources for veterans, for people receiving essential services. There's a lot of people who become temporarily not unemployed, but they don't have their paycheck wouldn't come in. So there's a lot on the line, and there's also discussions of to include the Obamacare subsidies or to not. But I want to ask you on the politics of all this. How do you envision this meeting will go? Who kind of has the upper hand when it comes to this discussion?
I think Trump is going to lead it. Trump is going to poke some people, like always. I mean, I haven't seen any different from Trump. If something different comes up, maybe it will be like surprising for all of us. But I do think that this is like a deja vu. You know, every year, every certain months, we have this government shutdown coming to us and the hysteria about it. And I think politicians really use this for politics, right? I think Democrats they know big part of their base are people who use Obamacare. Many low-income families are looking for that they need those resources, and now we have a midterm soon, and I think they need to send a message that we care about this. We're not leaving you alone. We need to do this fight, right? And that's why they're pushing for it. If it's gonna pass or not, if they're gonna get into an arrangement, let's see. But they always do at the end. Because
How important is this meeting for Democrats in the lens of, you mentioned the 2026 elections, and two things come to mind. There doesn't seem to be like a clear leader for Democrats right now. There's Governor Newsom, who's very vocal out in California. There's folks who have risen to the forefront, like Mandami in the mayor's race, right? A Democrat socialist. But then you have sort of your old school folks, Nancy Pelosi still vocal, Schumer. In this meeting, it's going to be Schumer, and it's going to be the new the new minority leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries. He's supuestamente that new wave of leadership in the party.
And he's being aggressive.
So that goes to my question. Do you think for Democrats, this meeting is a way to kind of show, one, hey, we're mean business for next year, and two, Hakeem Jeffries, is he going to try to sort of really stand out in this meeting?
Absolutely. I think he's going to be a dog cat fight. I mean, they're being aggressive. Newsom, an example, like he said, we got to be aggressive. We got to be active, because they understood that the message of the Republican Party was taking over. They were being big and bold. And it was working for them. They were like leading the rhetoric. They were leading the news. They were leading everything. And they couldn't stand just still. They had to be aggressive to call the attention, because we also live, sadly, in a world where that's what works. Again, you were saying before, like focus on the laws, not on the person. But sadly, the nature of this world of social media and viral content, it's about personality. So the personality is what brings the message and make it go places, right? So I think it's going to be probably aggressive. Probably both sides will stand up. I'm sure Jeffries and the Democratic Party will be like, this is important. It's healthcare. They don't care about you. They're going to cut funding. You're going to pay more. People are going to be without healthcare, which is something really important. And let's see. I mean, I think it's politics. I mean, I see those things, and honestly, I just sit down and watch, because there's so much politics inside. I mean, maybe deep inside, they know they're not going to be able to get what they want, but they need to show that they tried.
Yeah, I think it's part of that.
Because at the end, you're going to say like, okay, we tried and it was on them. They fail you. And you get those tools, but that's politics. You play for it.
That's going to be the message, I think, of both parties sort of coming out, right? So Republicans, they have the majority on both sides. They passed the bill in the House. The only reason it didn't pass in the Senate is because no Democrats voted in favor. So Republicans are going to say, look, it was Democrats who didn't want to vote for it, so they shut down the government.
And they're basically saying, like, hold on, it's not that we're not going to touch that, but later. They just want to, like, okay, let's do the security thing. They want to approve a lot of $1 million for security because of everything that had happened. And Democrats agree with that.
Yeah.
They just want to add the health thing. And Republican Party is saying, yes, but not yet. So let's see what happens.
Well,
I mean, I hope nobody end up without insurance, health insurance coverage, because I know that's really important for everybody. And I hope they, resolve this issue.
Yeah,
they always do at the end.
It's going to continue to be a negotiation. Yeah, because the government cannot shut down. We understand there's a lot of essential services on there.